This is episode number 17, Party People, and we're here with the Loop people.
The Loop?
The Loop.
Yes.
The Loop.
Check it out.
Owners, the Loop entrepreneurs, the Loop innovators. What else could I say about you guys?
Gonzalo
and Corina. Wow.
From Venezuela.
So excited. From Venezuela.
From Venezuela. They actually they live in Gainesville, if I'm not mistaken.
Live in Gainesville, yes.
Directly from Venezuela. And Gainesville.
Venezuela. Yeah.
Awesome, man. Thank you for being here with us.
Thank
We're
you.
honored.
We start every episode
Yes.
with our handles. And you guys can find me, the Nightlife Entrepreneur, on Instagram, and LMG Miami also on Instagram. And you can find
me at Ico Taps Beer and at Doral Food and Wine Festival. And where could they find you guys?
They can find me personally in Gonzalo M1 and _ the Loop.
My Instagram is at Coramora1 and the Loop _ the Loop.
Actually, we have other 2 accounts also because, well, we'll go into that more detail.
Yeah, but you can give them out right now.
We have _ the Loop.Orlando and
nice.
_ the Loop.Toronto and _ the Loop.Madrid. So we try to like separate the cities and not
Soon
like,
to
have
be
it
the
all.
Loop worldwide, people. That's what we're doing here. That's what we're working with.
Yes,
so,
yes.
you know what? Let's dive into that right away. Why wait if you're already giving out your handles? The reason we asked you guys to come into the show today is because that's one of the things we see. Like, for some reason, this new generation is coming. You know, like they just want to take over the world. You know what I mean? I've been doing this for 20-something years, and every time we spoke about doing having our company in a different city or whatever, it was just how do we get to that?
Yeah, I think I think the challenge is how do you get there? Being consistent with the type of party you do here. That's I think that.
Yeah. It's all when you're kind of franchising in a way. When you think franchise, you think how do we keep the quality of what I have or what we do. Right? The same way, how do we not give it to the wrong person or do the wrong thing or whatnot? And then again, we're also old school, so we don't have the new millennial mind.
Got it.
Yeah, definitely.
So
millennial mind.
Okay, so
By
these
the way,
guys
love those special effects that you're throwing.
These guys, by the way, so the Loop is a promotion company. You guys run events, you produce your own events. Besides doing nightclubs and monthly events, monthly parties, you guys do actual concerts.
Oh, you do?
That kind of thing.
Yes.
Yeah, so break down what the Loop, break it all down.
Okay, well, fortunately enough, we've started this because, fortunately enough, as I said, we've traveled like worldwide. We've gone to with different venues, been out with different people, till the point where a couple of years ago we said, why don't we do our own parties? But actually, what we wanted to do and create the philosophy that we have is not compete with other people or do what other people were doing at the moment.
Okay.
When we started in Gainesville, we did a couple of events without any experience at all. And we had like over 1,000 people capacity in one of the events. So we said...
Could you explain to us, for those who don't know the Loop, what your events are like? Is it like really music based? Is it DJ, live bands?
We've tried to make it like very diverse, and we've tried to like work with several DJs, several different artists doing several different themes. And we started our business like door to door. Actually, when we started in Gainesville with no experience, so as I said before, we started like giving out flyers in the streets. Gainesville is very
college.
Yeah.
Gainesville is very
Back to basics.
Yeah.
Gainesville is very well known to be a college town. So actually, our first step was like going to all the fraternities and sororities and like knocking and saying, hey, we have a party, Latin people, Latin music, Latin food. Come by, we'll give you free cover. Actually, it's funny because in our first event, one of my roommates was like the doorman. Corina and myself, we were like waitress going all the way around because
The people in the venue really didn't thought that we were gonna bring 1,000 people. They just thought that we were throwing whatever party, one more party in Gainesville. So when they saw that amount of people, they told us like, wait, we need help.
Right. Which is something happens a lot, that people, venues underestimate, and most people overpromise instead of underpromise and overdeliver.
Now, so this was your first party and you brought in 1,000 people?
Like 800.
850
and
people.
So were you also kind of shocked, or was that you?
We were completely shocked.
But we were expecting a huge crowd because we were listening, a lot of people from Miami that were coming up.
Oh.
And from Gainesville, like there's no good Latin parties. So once we throw a good Latin party, everyone was going crazy.
Did you identify that? Did you guys say, you know what, there's no Latin parties happening here? Why aren't we the first ones to do it?
That was what drove us to start doing the first party. Cool. And the sensation and the, I want to say, receptividad of the people in the first event. I mean, we said to ourselves, this is for us. I mean,
in Caracas.
By the way, receptividad, for those who don't understand, is receptividad. So
in Caracas, parties were very good. In Caracas, parties were very good. He was in Gainesville like 5 months before me.
Okay.
So when I arrived to Gainesville, I thought about parties in Miami, but in Gainesville, and it was nothing to do with. So it was bar hopping, like little shots, drinks, $50 drink, 50 cents a drink.
Oh wow.
Yeah. So no, I didn't like it at all.
Wasn't Julio Mario bartending that, because he's known for 50 cents?
Right.
I didn't like it at all, and I didn't like going out and partying and stuff.
You didn't like that?
No. I always like to come here to Miami and party like Miami South. So we went to a venue in Gainesville.
Okay.
That they didn't open the complete venue because they didn't fill it up. It was just like a little space in the upper part, in the upper level. So when we saw it, we said like, it remembered us about a venue in Venezuela that's really famous. It's called La Esmeralda.
Okay.
That we used to party there. So we asked the bartender who was the manager.
You guys used to party there together back in the days in La Esmeralda? In Caracas, right?
In Caracas.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Wow. So
you guys are a couple, by the way.
you guys are a couple.
Yes, we're a couple.
Can we reveal this like to the world?
Yeah.
Because I'm telling you, hey world,
We're a couple.
they are a couple, okay?
First
so
came
don't
the
get any
couple, then
ideas.
came the business.
Don't start
Yeah.
sending them DMs
Way
separately,
before.
all right?
You know,
Way before.
Has
They
that
are
been
one.
any, complicated?
it's funny, and a lot of people ask us the same thing. I mean, how are you guys a couple and also partners in the business? But
In this business.
But let's
in
not
this
go.
particular
This business
business.
is
Wow.
But I mean, it's been very interesting, and it's been a challenge for us because I mean, separating like the relationship part and the business part. But I mean, we've always thought that, I mean, being Corina, a girl, and myself, a boy, we have two point of views.
Girl, boy, man, it always works. I'm telling you.
No, by the way,
boy,
I've been
girl,
talking to
girl,
these guys.
boy.
I've been having business conversations, and
Right?
and what I can tell about them is the fact that they have two completely different points of view, and they don't mind sharing it, and they don't, and they'll go out, not as arguments, but they will say, this is what I think, this is what I think.
Poor girl.
Yeah, and there's
No,
a lot
no,
of
it
couples
happens
out
a
there
lot.
that are a little afraid to go there. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
I won't go against my partner.
But I think that at
No,
the
no,
end,
I give it up to my man right here, because he, I could
Not
tell.
afraid. We'll ask him the same question outside of the room later.
Yeah,
though.
no, let's ask him right now. But I could tell that the fireworks happen. Like,
Right.
boom, boom,
No,
boom,
no,
but
and
it's, I'm
as
sure
I said,
it's good.
they
it's-
do, but at the end, that's what makes it work. Like,
Yeah,
it
of
makes a
course.
party be complete. If I give an idea, maybe Gonzalo completes it. I'm thinking about something and focusing on something that maybe doesn't need that focus. And he
Right.
tells me, like, look, this is not as important as you're looking at. Maybe
No,
we need to.
I think it's great. Now, before we lose where we were going with your first party, again, I want to understand that first party for those listener viewers. How was the music? How
Okay.
was the environment? Like,
So-
put me there. Like, was it a house? Was it was it a college campus?
So it was this venue. I mean, it's a venue that's called the Florida Theater. It's
Okay, so it was
actually a theater in
theater,
Gainesville.
okay.
I mean, it's
So
not.
it's kind of cool vibe,
Yes,
right?
it's
Super cool.
used
Yeah.
for literally theater. So
Yeah.
we asked the bartender, "Hey, we want to do a party here. Who do we have to speak with?"
Cool.
She actually brings a manager to us, and we say, "Hey, I mean, we want to do a party." And the first thing he asks,
By this time, you had not even created a company.
No.
Okay.
We
The
didn't
loop
even
was
have
the
an
idea.
Instagram.
the
It's just
loop
an idea.
wasn't even a name. And the guy says, "What kind of experience do you have in parties?" And we said, "I mean, We've been to parties, we've never done
We're
one.
from Venezuela. We start partying when we're like 12.
And I remember, and I will never forget, he said, let's do something. Do whatever you want. The venue is yours. But 1 week before, you have to show me you've sold 400 tickets. If not, the event won't be able to.
Oh, okay. So
Yeah, we had to close the door.
Because the capacity was 1,500 of the venue.
How, in a
By the way,
theater-
that's how important that question about your experiences.
Yeah.
So how's your experience? No, we've never done this before. Okay, you got the place.
Yeah, I know that was awesome, right?
So, but-
that just shows you how much experience he had.
But he was really interested because
That's
no
cool.
one
You have to
wanted
sell
do
yourself
it.
the right way.
And we
How much
started,
is it? None. Okay, great. You can have the theater. That was good.
no, and we like pulled all the money out of our pockets. We just went out crazy and we like printed out like
When you think of a theater, where were people dancing? Like on stage, or like did they have seats?
On both, we had a problem with that because
Yeah.
everyone wanted to go on stage, and the DJ cables were all like connected. The music shut down like for 30 seconds because there were like 500 people on the stage.
It is
30
Venezuelan
seconds at a party, that's
Uh-huh.
like 25 minutes.
You
It's
know,
awful.
hey guys, we're trying to keep the
on the
Venezuelan
first
vibe, so we're
party.
just gonna
Oh,
go
first
off
party even
lights
worse.
and everything for 30 minutes.
So we had
That's
to
cool.
put a bouncer up there and start giving like VIP bands to just our friends and stuff.
So were people dancing on the?
Everywhere was
everywhere.
so
And
big.
also, although it's a theater, it also had tables like actually to sell and have bottles, and it was 10, 15 people.
But did they have seats? Like did you
yes,
have
they
to
had
take the seats?
couches.
No, like
table.
actual theater seats. No,
Oh, no.
Okay.
It was
Was it like
all empty.
Oh,
Empty.
that's awesome.
Yeah.
By the way, the first thing I want,
That's a great-
I want the listeners to take in from this, anyone who's getting into the business, I want you guys to understand the fact that some people are afraid to do this
Yeah, they
in
went for
small
it.
towns, like Gainesville. You know what I mean? It is a college town.
Yeah.
It is known for a party town, but a different kind of party town, more of a house party thing. You
Is it known for that?
Your
Like,
Gator
yeah,
Growl.
yeah, yeah.
House
Yeah,
parties?
it's like
It's,
studying is the
party
last thing you're gonna
town,
be
yeah.
doing. But you got Gator Growl, whatever, all those things. But the Latin people and the good Latin crowd didn't have, that
They didn't
niche
have that-
was not
that-
taken care
Yeah.
of, and that's
Not
what they
at
saw. So you guys need to understand is that if it's a small
Go for
town,
it.
you don't need to do this in New York or in
Yes.
LA or in Miami. You could or Paris or whatnot. You have, there's plenty of places like
Yes.
Wichita where we have.
Yeah,
listeners.
hey, let us know when you want us to go there and throw a party. We'll
Yeah,
be
man,
there.
Like honestly, there's anywhere you are, it doesn't really matter.
Yes.
This
You
can
just
happen.
got to identify. I think what they did was identify that they weren't any Latin parties. I think it was a great idea that
The
you
need.
even went to a theater, because
You
when I think
outside
of
the
a
box.
theater, I think it's a beautiful setting already. Right there, you're already kind of winning as far as like, awakening people's curiosity as far as like, hey, I've never been to that theater and what's going on there, and it's a Latin party, so that's kind of cool. Did that help at all, or?
It was, and we're talking about a town that has a population of 100,000 people, and in students it's just 80. You're talking that
Wow.
it's
Yes.
in percentage wise. So what we said is that if we could reach the percent of that 80,000 thousand students, why not?
So you charged at the door, right? Did you
We charged at the wall. That's why we said that
Pre-sold tickets.
through Venmo,
You made
without no
Because
experience.
we had to show him that we actually
Had
had several
400.
tickets.
So you had the 400. You go, you show him.
No,
He's
we
happy.
had 800 for
Oh,
that time.
So they
For the
got
time.
1%
Wow.
of those 80,000 students in there.
Yeah.
Literally, yeah. So, he said, okay, let's go, and that was some problems because they didn't know how to run the event, and they said, okay, you have 800. I think that with 6 bartenders, we're fine.
No. And I was
stuff.
really worried because people from Miami were going, and people from Miami
Expect
come with
something more.
Miami in mind.
Miami vibes. I want a table. I want 5 bottles, and Gainesville wasn't ready for that.
Wow.
No venue in Gainesville. Well, we learned a lot in that first event, and the Loop. It had a name, and people really enjoyed it.
Did you already have the name, the Loop?
We had it for that first
We
event.
created-
Where-
Not the logo, but the name.
Where did the Loop come from?
On the transition of this first event, when we really printed out, we wanted to print out the flyers. Corina and me, we sat down one day and we said, well, we have to put this name a party, with this party a name, sorry. And we just logged into the computer and said cool names, and
I googled cool party names and just started reading. I didn't
There were
like
over,
it. didn't
like,
like it.
5,000 names,
And one
yeah.
of them it said Loop. I was like, the Loop.
And then did you guys start like, I loop you instead of saying
no,
I love you or
I
anything
started
like that? Or was...
keep looping.
Oh, keep
Yeah,
looping?
that's our like hashtag, and it's like having like people inside a loop or something.
You don't loop me?
They're too young for that. They're too young for that kind of joke.
All right.
So you trusted Google.
Just a while.
You know,
Yes. No,
it is a cool name. And
I like it.
Even
The
more
loop,
than the
it's
name.
kind of like
I love
the vibe.
Thank you.
No, but it has a lot of like meaning. The loop. It's an infinite.
Yeah.
Right.
And on that first event, we still didn't have the logo because I mean, for at that moment, it was just a party.
Yeah.
I mean, it was the loop, the party. And
That's
then,
good that you already, for that first party, already had that name.
Yes.
Right?
Besides the name, you guys are using different hashtags nowadays. I see that.
Always looping,
Yeah,
keep looping.
we've been
Looping.
evolving our
Looping with me,
hashtags.
stuff like that.
Huh?
That your hashtags are share some of your hashtags. Like
Keep looping, always looping. Girls love to loop.
Right.
guys like to loop
Looping
too.
girls, looping boys,
Looping
loopers.
boys.
Like I said, man, it's a different
That's awesome.
kind of mind.
I like it.
The way they
Yeah.
think today is so
And-
different from what we
And
used
now, wow, yeah. So now you're looping internationally, right?
Yeah, well, and
Yeah.
just to cut it short, well, after that, we did a second event, and it was approximately the same average of people, and then
Same venue?
Same venue.
to. How much time between one and another?
It was
A
2
lot.
months later, 3
2
months,
months,
2 or 3
yeah.
months later, and then Corina and me said, look, we've done the same party in the same venue 2 times. It's time to do something different. I mean, let's
Right.
bring these people something different. So we started seeing, I mean, with our budget at the moment, what artists we could take, mostly Venezuelan, because a lot of Venezuelans over there.
Okay.
So we managed to contact Victor Munoz at the moment.
Shout out to Victor.
Victor, shout out
is
Munoz,
a very good friend nowadays, and at that moment in time, I mean, it was nearly impossible to find his cell phone. And nowadays, we have a very good relationship with him.
Cool.
But we had over like 1,300 people
Yeah,
capacity in
that
that
was a
third
crazy
event.
one.
It was crazy. I mean, honestly, I think it's the best event we've done in the last 2 years.
When you say Latin party, is it like all reggaeton?
No.
house
No, there's
music?
also
There's
electronic.
house,
It's also, I
electronic,
mean, it's
Commercial
basically
music, but there's a lot of reggaeton.
Okay. So it's all just it's what do you call it? Open format?
Yeah,
Open
open
Do
format.
you
format.
guys
Yes.
throw like merengue, salsa?
yes,
stuff like
electronic
Open format.
house. I mean,
Everything.
it's just like focused to the Latin community and also like for the US people to say, okay, let's go and have a different night, a different time.
But it's that like students in Gainesville that are used to go bar hopping and stuff. They don't like to even pay a cover of $5.
I'm gonna
That's
ask you a
the
question
mentality.
that some people might think it's a little personal, but I'm gonna ask
Oh,
you anyway.
get ready, people.
And this is, and there's only one reason I want to ask it, and
go
it's
for it,
because
brother.
we are in different cities.
Yes.
So I've always wondered this part, and it's in Miami when we started 20 something years ago, there was no set deal for promoter and a nightclub, right? And we could basically say that we started the different deals that exist today, and we worked them out. As a matter of fact, I've been to venues that when they give me the contract, I'm like, shit, that's the one I wrote 10 years ago. You know what I mean? So there's a standard pretty much. Unless you can always think outside the box. Some people ask for different, like a little budget over here, or they get a little less from a door here, or a little more from a bar, etc. But it's always around, the
same kind of-
same idea. Now, my question is, did you guys, did you talk to anybody before that did business over here? Like, how do you come up out of nowhere with a completely new, okay, this is how we want to do business?
That's one of the things which we personally think that has made us earn the respect of many people and has made us build a name in a community and a state such competitive, because we started from the bottom literally with no budget at all, with no support at all. I mean,
That's awesome.
I remember a couple of years ago that many promotion companies, even venues, they rejected us. Nowadays they call us, please come and do it, or please let's do an event together. But I mean, we never asked anybody for advice. I mean, as I said, we started doing everything by ourselves.
Just
Corina and
based
me.
on like what you've seen and stuff.
Correct.
Yeah,
Yes.
I don't know. It's a very curious question, and I've never think about it. But we just came with everything.
We just combined the combination of parties in Caracas, parties in Miami. Let's do it in our own way
Way.
in Gainesville. And we did that third party with Victor, and then unfortunately semester was nearly over, and we had to come to Miami to do some internships.
Right. So business-wise, what I'm trying to get to is business-wise, maybe the venue said, this is how I do it, or they usually didn't deal with promoters
No,
over there?
This one they rented themselves, right?
No, we didn't rent it. We just told him like, look, we want to keep with all the tickets and you stay with all the
Right,
liquor.
you do the bar,
Yeah.
you do the door. Perfect.
Without knowing how the
Without
business
knowing,
worked.
we didn't even ask for the bar sales. Like,
Right. Yeah, because
We
that
didn't
is
even thought about it.
actually, and I started that way too. I mean, when I was your age, a few days ago. So
weeks ago.
No, I mean, at the beginning it was that. It was door for one side, bar for the other. Now things have changed. As a matter of fact, I'm sure you guys are already doing something different over there, as I know that you do here, because they, have arrived in Miami also, and they've been doing stuff over here. Maybe you can tell us a little bit about that. When did you decide it was time to do something outside of Gainesville?
What I was saying, when the semester was over, Corina and myself, we were both enrolled in an internship, so we had to come to Miami for the summer. And we said, let's not sleep the loop down. I mean, let's keep doing it, but it's gonna be in Miami. I mean,
Keep
we
looping.
don't keep looping, literally. So we didn't have any promoters at the moment. I mean, we've just done 3 events in Gainesville, and we said Miami is a completely new thing. I mean, but we said, you know what, let's do it. But we had to formalize it a bit. We already registered this as a company. And after the first event here in Miami, we did the logo. I mean, we started doing the image. And
You started taking it a little bit
no,
more
Yes,
for the
seriously.
first event we did.
for the first one, I mean, after the third event in Gainesville. So we started looking for venues. We've been in Baronesh, which is now called Baronesh, but we've been there before when it was Gabbana.
Okay.
So we said, I mean, let's do it there. We don't know any other clubs.
And it was really hard to find them.
Yes, and we...
I had to speak with Oscar Leal, the DJ.
Right.
He's a very good friend of mine. And I call him, look, Oscar, I want to do my party up there. So with whom do I need to speak?
Shout outs to Oscar Leal.
He gave me the number
Shout
of the
out.
manager.
Okay, so he gave you the number of the manager.
Oscar Leal is a DJ, a big DJ
Yeah.
in Venezuela.
Of Andres San Martin at the moment, which
Shout
is
outs
now
to
the
him.
very good friend, which was the manager of Baronesh.
And he just opened his new bar, which is amazing.
Dirty Rabbit, second
Yeah.
person
Dirty
says it on the
Rabbit.
show.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, it's
Dirty Rabbit
great.
is
We
popping.
went there yesterday. We even did an event.
By the way, Dirty Rabbit Sunday nights is getting good
It's
for the
popping.
industry people.
Yes.
That's Andres.
Yes. Okay.
So the
there you
first-
go.
Great job.
The first conversation with him was funny because he said, "What kind of experience you have here in Miami?" We said, "None." I mean, exactly the same thing, but
Yeah.
now here in Miami. And we knew.
But you were more confident.
more
right? Because you
confident. Yes,
already
we
had
were,
done
but at
it.
the same time, a little bit nervous. It was the first time here in
Because it's
Miami.
completely different, Miami
Yeah.
from Gainesville.
And Andres, I remember he said, "Well, let's do something. The only day I can give you, it's a Thursday." So Corina and me were saying, "God, I mean, Thursday."
And there was La Esquina. At the moment, La Esquina was La Esquina.
La Esquina,
Right.
door to door. We had La
Esquina is,
Victoria.
it
was
it's
a poppin'
competition
party?
for their
Crowd.
crowd. It's a
Okay.
party that was really
But
good at the moment.
a nice competition. I mean, as I said from the beginning, I mean, we never came here to compete with anybody. We
Yeah.
didn't even know anybody. I mean, we just came here to bring our name here. So we said, let's do it Thursday. I mean, despite the fact that other events were running on town that day, let's do it. We recruited our promoter. We put Oscar that day also,
We put
and
Oscar
Luis
and
Cabrera,
Luis
another
Cabrera.
very good DJ and friend of ours.
How do you guys recruit a new team of promoters in a new city?
It was with basically friends from Gainesville that were coming also here for the summer, which we started saying, please drag your friends.
Because almost everyone from Gainesville is from Miami.
Right.
Like they came from Miami to Gainesville. So back in Miami, they have a lot of people.
Right.
And we know a lot of people here in Miami. So we just basically ask who wants to earn money for partying.
There you go.
So
Guys,
were
so
you-
listen to that. And by the way, it's not the first group of people that tell us the same thing. That their team of promoters is based around their friends.
Friends, yeah.
And this is exactly how I started. And shout outs to Juan Carlos and Angel, who's still there for
Yeah,
after 20
what's
years. It's the reality. Think, the people that are closest to you first, and those,
And then
that's how you grow from
then
there
they
on.
help you out with other people. Did you
Right.
also get into going to the flyer mode and
Yes,
pretty much the same formula? As
we
Gainesville?
formalized our designer. I mean, which we nowadays still work with him. We've been very loyal with him, and he
Your
has
graphic
also been
designer?
loyal with
Yeah.
him. Yes. And we pulled a tremendously good campaign over a month and a half for this single night in Baronesh.
Okay.
Thank goodness it was a great night. I mean, we've put a promotion, I remember, of champagne like 11 in the night, and when we
Like free
went
champagne
out,
until 12 for ladies, and we went out. There was no even doorman at the moment.
and there were over
There were-
100 people
yeah,
there
there were a lot of
in the door, and
Wow.
we were very happy. I mean, of how the people, I mean, responded to our name, responded to our brand, and I mean, very happy. And there it started. I mean, the Loop in Miami, and we did in that summer like 6 or 7 events. We did several in Studio 23, and in less than 5 months, we were working already with a big artist like De La Ghetto, which we took
Are you serious? Wow.
to Studio 23. So, like, good friend of ours, I mean, they were like happy with the movement that we were creating, and it's when it started as a franchise. We have a very good friend, Hammerling and Adrian, which I want to take advantage of thanking them, which they said, please let me do it in Orlando. We live in Orlando, and
Oh, you guys live there?
No, they live in.
Oh,
they
they live
live
over
there,
there,
and
okay.
it's when we started the idea of why don't we franchise the Loop. So a lot of people, I mean, they were very happy, and I mean, we're identifying with what we were creating, because we've never accepted till, I mean, a while ago, a weekly event, and we've always liked putting all our eggs in one basket.
Okay.
One day, one night, be it whatever, if it's a day party, a night party, with or without an artist. So people were liking that. I mean, so some friends of ours started saying, hey, I want to do this, I want to do that. And I think that basically maintaining the same idea that we had is if the other people had the same mentality as we had at the moment. I mean, and it's when these two very good friends, they said, we live in Orlando, we love the Loop. I mean, we enjoy that you guys are doing it in Gainesville, in Miami. We want to continue it in Orlando. We
They
live
even
here.
went to Gainesville to look how we did it. They went to Miami to see how
Yeah,
we
they
did
were
it.
following us for a certain amount of time till we said, you know what, let's do it. Despite the fact of the business that we arrange with each person or percentage-wise, we said, let's do it. And I mean, they've done a tremendous good job in Orlando. They transferred it to Tampa.
You said daytime, nighttime. So you also do daytime parties?
Yeah, we might.
No,
In
we've done
Gainesville, in Gainesville, we did a 12-hour day party.
Wow.
So
No, they-
Marathon party.
Uh-huh.
Yes.
and it was
Amazing.
great.
Everybody goes in there nice and fresh, and they leave tired and out partied.
Yeah, see you in a month.
Yeah.
So these two very good friends, they manage Orlando and Tampa here in Florida.
Okay.
The same thing happened with another very good friend, Carlos, in Toronto, in Canada, and another very good friend.
So these are just friends that are reaching out from out of Miami, that are telling you, hey, I want to
can
do the
make
same
this happen
thing,
over here.
and
Yeah,
I can
like-
make it happen through the Loop branding.
We are
using
in
your
control
formula.
of the Instagram accounts. We're in control of all the branding. I mean, the designer, he has to go through us, be it Corina or myself. We have to approve, be it the flyer, the video, the venue,
Everything.
artist, DJ. I mean, we know exactly what is going to happen for each event. Like if
Okay.
we are the one in control, but they are our representation over there. I mean, the image of the Loop in Orlando is our two friends. Toronto the same, Spain the same.
So is it very important for you both, as far as like the party being the Loop, and for those people that are learning, listening to us, what would you say to them if they're trying to move their parties from one state to another? What do you think is something that's a must? Is it the music? Is it what's the formula
No,
that can change?
The people is one of the most important things that you have to be aware of. You
Your
can't,
crowd?
yeah,
Quality.
you can't give it to anyone that just asks for it.
Okay.
Like there's a lot of people that tell me, look, I want to do it in Bogota, in
Texas.
Peru, in Texas.
Okay.
But
Shout outs to Peru.
but
Cusqueñas from Peru.
but we really don't know what type of people they know, what type of people they
Okay.
move. So you can't give it to them because
Right.
if
so
they do a party
Orlando,
that does
Tampa,
not-
Toronto,
Madrid.
they follow our
Barcelona.
same line, yeah.
you know the line, you know the people.
Yeah,
you know,
yeah,
like,
yeah.
I mean,
okay,
I think it's a matter of attitude. I mean, we have to identify with the person. We have to know that they can do the same exact job that we do here.
Okay.
I mean, there have been events in Orlando that Corina and myself haven't been there, and we are 1 hour away in car. But we know that it's gonna run perfectly without us being there. So that's
Because we
basic.
went to the first three.
So
You supervise.
we spoke to another company
Supervisor
that
of the
does
crowd.
mostly day events and that kind of thing. And one of the things they're staying away from is a recurrent party, meaning on every Thursday, on every Friday, one of those things. For us that have been in the industry for a long time, for us, if recurrent is the business that we're in. As a matter of fact, we have a Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday currently. Which, by the way, we're joining forces I'm gonna give two shout outs out there. Number one
get
is
ready.
We're joining forces on a Friday night over here at El Tucan,
Awesome.
which you have not gone to tap dance yet.
Yes.
And
Need to go bless that floor.
besides that,
Stage is still there.
which by the time this comes out,
Yeah.
it's not gonna have happened, but you will be able to go. This is something they convinced us to do because we were
Very
completely against
convincing.
it, but we agreed and we're gonna do it.
Oh,
and
for
we're gonna
real?
go out
So it
there.
was like that. They
No,
convinced you
not the
guys?
Friday. What I'm gonna tell you about
Oh.
now. We're gonna do.
It's better.
Yeah, it's a one-time
Oh, no.
event, or maybe more than that. But at least first, it's a one-time event, and we're doing a Monday night party. So
Wow.
yeah, so that's gonna happen.
All right, people. There you have it, right here, live and direct. You're
Starting
gonna
with
get
the right foot.
It's gonna
You're
be
gonna get
at
Monday
La
night.
Victoria on August
Sixth.
6th. There you go.
Monday,
So
Victorious.
you guys better be there.
When is it again? What's the date?
Monday
Sixth.
6th.
Monday
August
the
6th.
6th. August 6th. La Victoria. Wow. We gotta
From
be
6
there.
p.m.
Like 15 days.
From 6 p.m. until
6 a.m.
6 a.m.
So
Another,
your body can't take
another
no
12
more.
party. I love it.
So all right, so you guys have been keeping away from the recurrent parties,
Well, mostly because we don't live here. At the moment, we don't live here, so
but not in Gainesville, for example, or
no, not in Gainesville. Because in Gainesville, the wow part of the loop was that it was the party of the month. If we start doing it every week, then it's just like let's go to the loop.
Right, it loses
Hey,
the wow
this
factor.
Monday,
Yeah.
so that Monday party, is it going to be the loop, la misma gente, or?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Both.
Looping with NMG,
Okay. Awesome.
Basically
And
that.
why did you guys think of a Monday night?
I mean, it's basically
It's summer.
that.
Everyone
Well,
wants to party every day of the week.
Okay.
And-
We have to like.
Are
get
we
on
drinking right now? It's
I
Monday.
love it. Yes.
that. No, really. We woke up today, and I woke up with a message. What are we doing tonight? It's Monday.
Oh.
Well, it's
a
Monday. Let's go.
Yes.
and we've always liked challenges. We've always liked risking
things.
ourselves and going a step forward. I mean, for example,
Thinking a little bit outside the
a
box.
couple of months ago, we did a
100%.
concert of over 2,000 people in Wynwood with a very well-known artist called Arcángel.
Which not everyone.
And literally,
takes
we
that
thought about this
chance.
event for over 5 months. If we did it, if we didn't do it, till the moment we said, let's do it. I mean,
But with Arcángel, I don't think you would have gone wrong any day.
No, yeah, so-
well, but
Hey,
not,
no,
not
but-
everyone. Not
Exactly.
everyone.
Promotion wise, I mean, it doesn't. It's not just the artist.
Yes.
I mean, if you don't do it right,
Oh, yeah.
you could end up with this
Exactly.
big name and like nobody there to see
No
them.
one there.
And so that's why artists also make a decision as to who they sell.
No,
their
they
show
even
to
you
and
have
all
to
that.
sign a contract, which is say that if the venue is not
At capacity.
at the whatever
With a percentage
full,
capacity-wise.
they will not sing.
Right.
Oh.
So,
Yeah.
I mean, we decided to do this kind of event. We've done like glow parties in Gainesville. We've
White
even
parties.
took a artist to Gainesville and after Victor Muñoz Larry Over,
Larry
which was a
Over.
completely, I mean, immense challenge for us, be it because of the budget wise
Okay.
and what we depend on in Gainesville, and we made it happen. We had 900 people in
It was
one
great.
venue of 2 floors. So it's that. I mean, we've tried to do different things, different events, be it the day or the night, with different themes
How long have you been doing this right
for
now?
2 years now.
In the 2 years you've been doing this.
No. 1 year and a half. Like in Miami, 1 year exactly
Okay.
from last summer.
Exactly.
So see, like I said, they have
There you
different
go.
points
Yeah.
of view, which is always good.
That's good.
You know, I love that, by the way. I mean,
Yeah.
I have that relationship with my partner, business partner, with Kia. It's a different relationship with my wife. You know, she always has to win,
hope so.
and has to. She's probably always right anyway.
Yeah.
But okay, so the last, let's say, year and 9 months, to put it in the middle.
Thank you.
What have you guys had like a really bad experience? Something that you would say, man, this is like something
Like,
in the industry that's
why are we
happened.
even doing this?
You know, to be
Yeah.
honest, yes, but I believe that it's like in every business and in everything. I mean, of all the bad things, we've tried to learn from them. It's an experience that we tell ourselves that it won't happen again. Because bad things always are there, but I mean, we are glad to say that in the loop. I mean, it's been more happy moments, it's been more positive moments. So, I mean, I wouldn't change this name or this brand for anything in the world. And
is this a part-time business or a long-term business for you?
at the moment, it's a long term. I mean, because nowadays, I mean, we've seen the loop more than just an event. We've tried to do it as a brand, as a lifestyle.
It's like a baby, right?
Yes, it is.
So, we didn't even ask him, what were you studying in college? Like,
We are studying
you
at the
guys are in
moment.
college?
Corina's
Yeah, we're
studying-
still in college.
what are you guys studying?
Corina's studying business.
I'm studying business. I'm doing a minor in marketing
Okay.
and specialization in mass communication.
Okay, awesome.
I'm studying economics.
Oh, wow.
Yes.
I'm telling you,
And it
they're
all
both
can
on
be
point.
applied. Hey, I'm an accountant.
Yeah. And
Nobody believes that.
They're both, they both kind of like help each other out. So, and I've noticed that you guys went from being like a party promoter, so now you're more producers, like concerts.
Well, we've
You're-
only
you're-
gone through one. The thing with the artist is that in Gainesville, it's a really attractive thing to do. And at the first moment, we didn't have any name, like nobody knew who we were here in Miami.
Okay.
And making your brand grow at the first instance with an artist is like a long-term investment.
goal. Okay,
So
that's awesome. But that's good that you guys took the risk. And
Yes,
that's
we
it.
yes,
Yeah.
and I mean we took the risk in clothing and caps. I mean we've
Yeah.
Yeah.
We've already
Branding
run-
wise, you guys are doing a great
we
job.
ran
So, yeah.
out of hoodies. We ran out of. I don't even have shirts. I had to sell my shirt.
we had over
We don't even have
1,000
more
caps,
caps.
and we said, well, let's sell them.
I don't know if you
And
know this, but
we
I'm
ran out of
keeping
them.
one.
Yeah. Anybody who comes in here with giveaways, we take
They're
them.
very nice, by the way.
Yes. And these people could find online in your website.
Not at the moment because we're sold out.
That's
sold out
that's
right
the
now.
most interesting thing that we published a picture of all the merchandise that had arrived,
Okay.
and people just started to text us.
Hoodies, I mean tops. I mean it's been great. It's been a lifetime experience that we don't just.
What do you
want it to stop.
recommend to those out there who are starting to promote as far as spending some of their earnings into merchandising? Is that something that you highly
Well,
recommend?
it all depends on like what you want to reach, what you want to be, what you want to do. Because if you only want to be if you only want a good party, then you might invest instead of in branding in a good DJ maybe.
Right.
But if you want everyone to have your brand in their mind constantly, then you have to make them see you around, and you need caps.
That's
you
the
need,
marketing mind thing.
yeah,
right
you
there.
need caps. You need.
I believe that. I mean
you need to be
basically
present every time.
that you create your idea and stick with it. I mean, from day one, we've known what we want to do and where we want to go, and keep doing it, and we've not changed that. And although we may argue in some things, I mean, we've always been there together in every decision. Sometimes maybe we have to go with one that Corina suggested. Maybe I'm not 100% positive with it, but I mean, I do it. I mean, because Corina, she wants the best for the company. I want the best, and that's how we see it. I mean, with the two of us want the same thing.
That's
So it's been a work
Good
team.
that you
And
guys are both able to communicate and be successful at it. So
Yeah.
that's a great
Hey,
thing.
since today we're not gonna have that last, Night Father segment. These guys are
Well,
too young to be.
they
talking
might have
about
loopies
being,
you know.
Lucy's.
Let
future. You know what I mean? They're gonna have
You don't want to
those.
see our production's faces back there.
Yeah. But if they keep
Ico's
doing
jokes
so
today.
well.
Ico's taking over my bad jokes, man. Today, seriously.
I know.
So I know that was a tip,
Yeah.
into the marketing area, but now in general, what would be that one big tip that you would give out to those who are starting in this business? They don't need to be promoters. They don't need to be, just in the industry in general. What do you think?
what I can say is that you don't need a huge amount of money to start this business. I mean, you have to just believe in yourself, and I mean, stick with it. As I said before, I mean, we started from the bottom literally with a student budget. I mean, that our parents were giving us on a monthly basis, and we didn't care about it. I mean, we even took Victor Munoz and we said that we have to sell a certain amount of tickets to be able to pay him the half of it.
Wow.
So I mean, you don't need money, you don't need support, you don't need anybody. I mean, you need yourself, your partner. You have to believe in your project and go ahead with it. I mean,
Just be ambitious, right?
Yeah, focus on it. No,
There's a story in here, chapter 1, where I actually talk about
Chapter
my
1.
beginnings, and I talk about one thing. And this company was started with a $50 loan from my father. And the reason I needed the $50 was because I had to open a bank account. And back then, $50 was the minimum to open it. So he gave me the $50 just to open it against his will, because he didn't think that this was going to go anywhere. 20 years later, my dad's working with me. And it's grown.
Did you pay him back the $50?
Oh,
Of course, right? All right.
I tried. I could never pay him back for sure. But definitely, you don't need much to start in that sense. If you have friends with money, it's always good, because those are your main clients. But in the end, it doesn't matter. It's really, having that will, wanting to do it, and the most of
hunger,
is that hunger and loving what you do.
you have to
these
love
guys
what
love
you
what
do.
they're doing as we do. I just want to tap.
And when they say that, I mean, you don't need support at the moment, it's because, I mean, I remember in that moment in time, I mean, friends, very good friends of mine used to tell me, why are you going to do parties? I mean, some of them even laughed about it, literally like a movie. I mean, why are you going to do events?
My dad told me too that he had sent me to Gainesville to study, not to party.
And it's people that nowadays, I mean, they ask us, please give me a job. I mean, please let me work with you. Please, how you do this? Please. And I said 2 years ago, you didn't believe in us. I mean, so it's basically
Sure, that
that.
feels
I mean,
good. But help them out. Help those guys out. But that's good. That's good, because a lot of people will stop. When it gets really rough out there. So I congratulate you both for being able to stick to your guns and kind of just keep that drive and that hunger and that tenacity to just continue doing what you're doing. What's good is that you also it sounds like from the first day, your first party was kind of already a success. So I'm sure that kind of motivated you guys to discover that you had something going on and continue.
And by the way, I can't wait for you guys to fuck up once, because that's going to be the best lesson.
That's going to be the test.
It's probably too soon for you guys, because you guys are doing a good job. I've seen it.
That's going to be the test, right?
I've actually been following you guys since before we met.
partners.
I was spoken about you guys by a couple people. I love to see where you guys are going, where it's growing. One of the reasons we created this was to make sure that the nightlife does not die, because there's a lot of people that are doing new things, are against it. We sell sex,
of course.
and it's now found on Tinder.
He said that, okay?
With those words,
all right.
let's thank you guys. Thank you guys for coming again.
Thank
we
you
really,
so much for coming.
I think we're gonna have you guys back for sure, because I have a feeling you guys are gonna be doing big things, and it's always good to hear from people that are growing in the business. Remember, guys, find the book on Amazon. Remember to find us on iTunes, Spotify, Podomatic, Facebook, YouTube, Nightlife Entrepreneurs, the website nightlifeentrepreneurs.com/podcast, and you can find me on Instagram, the Nightlife Entrepreneur, and at LMG Miami.
Hey, you can find me at Ico Taps Beer and at Doral Food and Wine Festival. I want to thank our sponsor, Cusqueña. This Saturday is Peruvian Independence Day. As for Cusqueña, thank you very much for your support. We love your beer. It tastes good, right?
Yes.
I didn't have any.
You guys,
where do
they find you guys again?
_ the loop forever. That's
forever. And soon the loop.
Forever.
The loop worldwide.
_ the loop. All right, guys.
Thank you.
See you next week.